Well, good morning, humanity. It is, what is it? It is July 15th, 2024, and it's the favorite time of our week because it's Mondays with Bev and Paul. And hi, everybody, my name's Paul.
Oh, good morning. This is Bev.
And it's our favorite
Here
time
we
of the month because
are.
we're together in the
Yes,
studio.
together again.
Yeah, we just did a little interview with Karen Austin in England this morning.
Whew.
Be prepared for that one. It's going to be, she did a great presentation on menopause.
Oh my gosh, it's going to be a good workshop.
Yep, that's
Yep.
our next workshop, and that will be the Thursday, that's the 25th. So join us for that. But today, we're going to talk about how to live with humanity.
Ooh. Point one,
Yes.
point two. Oh, no pun intended.
Yeah. So, we just wanted to build on something we were talking about this morning where, we were talking about that humanity was at a crossroads in history.
We are at a crossroads in
With
decisions.
With a
to be
lot of
made.
conflict both within, that's a key here, and between people.
Yes.
And so we wanted to talk a little bit about that and how can BioTouch maybe help bridge the gap?
As it does so well.
Yeah.
So when we talk about conflict, it's more than just warfare or whatever. But I might mention that the kingdom called humanity on this planet is under the power of something called harmony through conflict. Okay, that is what rules us in the outer world. So right there we're under the gun, so to speak, under fire to produce that. And the whole purpose of the harmony is called beauty. So we are here to establish beauty in this world, but we have to go through, create harmony in order to, it has to open a space for that to be created. And we are definitely a kingdom that is in conflict. Yeah.
And we're seeing that more and more. So, we want to share how BioTouch, those two fingers, touching lightly on the skin, can bring a harmony to the conflict. I'm just reminded of that young man who tried to strangle me to death.
Oh, yeah, that's
Yes,
right.
there's a conflict. So I was in this situation, this young man that I had been working with here at the center had me in a chokehold and trying to strangle me to death. And I was able to get those two fingers up there to that greeting point. And the minute I did, he released me for a short enough time where I could get away.
Get away. Well, so even in our manual, when we give the description of the greeting, what we say in that description is, one of the things the greeting does is bring the two people involved in that relationship, the associate and the recipient, into harmony.
Yes.
Before they start practicing BioTouch. It says so in our manual.
Yes, in our manual, folks. Just
It's
get
there
our
already.
manual. It's online. So,
Right.
it also reminds me, worked with this fellow. He was helping the foundation. He was the major CEO fundraiser at the Jewish Community Center here in Tucson, Arizona. And we were talking about that I would work with anybody, that was a human being.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And of course, he had to go way out into the ozone, and he goes, "Well, would you work on Hitler?"
What did I say?
What an absurd question.
I know.
But of course, I said, "Well, of course I would if he needed some help." And it didn't compute.
Right.
It was just so outrageous to him that I could even think of that. But that's been the beauty of BioTouch, folks, for me.
Yeah.
Is it's helped me see in all my judgments. I've got judgment. We talked about it. I have conflicts. I have judgments. All can go on and on.
You're human.
Yes.
It's part of our learning. Yeah.
But
Experience.
I own it, and BioTouch helps me own it, and then practice the best way I know to practice forgiveness is to take those two fingers and touch on someone.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah.
Right. Well, and so when we talk about the conflict, and you mentioned in the beginning, there's conflict within us. and which bless you, bless you, bless you, and that creates within us a sense of imbalance, of not being in a state of wellness. Sometimes that leads to what we refer to as dis-ease, or anything like that. And I think this is the prime reason why we are really saying that BioTouch, it can be so instrumental, so important, because that inner conflict is about not being in a wholeness, that all the parts of ourselves are not really in a place of harmony. And so, the fact that the greeting itself is so just in tune with that, because we say that all the time. That first point is a place of what? Ooh, it's sacred,
yeah.
And it is
the most powerful place in the
yeah.
body.
And so when you're allowed to touch on that right there, you are already confronting the conflict.
Yes.
With love. Love is the key.
And we'll talk about that with Gary again's quote. And so, again, if we go over just that greeting, and you take that index and middle finger of your dominant hand, all right, and do this even just practicing on yourself first. Find that point just below the breastbone. Feel the breastbone there. Get soft all of a sudden as it moves into the tummy area. Now, back off, touch that lightly just below the breastbone for 6 to 8 seconds. All right? Now, you want to take that same dominant hand, those two fingers, and if you feel behind your neck and follow the neck down, lean your head forward, and there's this little bone that pops out, and go just to the left of that, about 1 inch to 1.5 inches, and again, touch that lightly for 6 to 8 seconds. Now that you've known that, and if you need to see that in a picture and have a video of it, download that for free on our website. The first 10 pages, the preview copy of our manual, and it shows somebody doing it, gives you the words so you can actually practice it. And practice that with someone,
I'm going to say now, go practice it with someone. Do it.
And here's a key that so if nothing else, picture someone you have the greatest conflict with.
Ooh.
The greatest conflict. Who came up for you right there? All right? Take that index and middle finger, though they're not there, and you probably would never stand in front of them. But even through the ozone, through the ethers, through whatever it is, take those two fingers and touch that person for 6 to 8 seconds at that breastbone, just below the breastbone. And take that same dominant hand and picture touching them just to the left of that big bone at the base of the neck for 6 to 8 seconds. I profess, I don't have any data, I can't tell you if it's true or not, that this brings healing to our relationship with humanity.
And why not?
Yes.
Why can't that be possible?
Right.
BioTouch, we talk about the unlimited possibilities of BioTouch. Well, the only reason it might not work is because you say it might not work. But I say, at this point of the game, the conflict, let's utilize everything that's in lovingness to help us get through this time.
Yeah.
Because it's planetary. It's not just in one country or another. This is a human condition and a human issue to confront right now. Our Western media mostly shows us Western conflicts, but if you watch some of these global media stations, you see this conflict is everywhere. Everywhere. With governments, with social orders, with... Oh, my goodness.
So our goal here in this foundation is to bring this simple, light touch so people can be doing it on the front, in their homes, everywhere. Right. It can be done anywhere, anytime, with anyone. And it's very simple, and that's our goal, is to get this out to everyone. And again, we always love the quote from Gary Schwartz. Gary Schwartz wrote the foreword to our book, BioTouch Healing with the Power in Our Fingertips, by our one and only Deborah Schildhouse, who just wrote another book on communicating with angels.
Yeah.
And he wrote a couple of things in here. You were talking about the love.
Yeah.
You know, and he says one thing here. He says, the kind of love that BioTouch fosters is a high level of love, including empathy, compassion, caring, kindness, gentleness, protection, safety, warmth, gratitude, appreciation, and respect.
Wow. Well, all the things that we're confronting right now for each other.
Imagine, you know, I mean, how many times do you hear, you know, when you go home for a meal, don't talk about politics or religion. You know,
Right.
Well, talk about politics and religions and do BioTouch and see what happens
And
to the
see
dialogue.
what that has. Yeah.
Right. You know, there's no reason we can't have conflicting opinions because, folks, that's all that it is. It's
Yeah.
just an opinion.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not who we are,
Right.
as Gary Schwartz says here. Okay? And he goes on a little later, as you explore Deborah's gracious and grateful book, my wish is that you become filled as I did with the wonder and promise that BioTouch offers all of us, our loved ones, the greater humanity, and nature as a whole.
Thank you, Gary, right there in the nutshell. And I really like what he said in that first little part that you read. BioTouch helps us to respect.
Yes.
This is a respect not only each other, but respect all life. That we are, got to remember, we're not the only life forms on this planet, but we are the most evolved of them, and we are caregivers for each other and the planet. And I really loved what he said about BioTouch can help. Once you have faced the conflicts within ourselves and each other, then we are capable of honoring and respecting all the other life here. That's the decisions we're going to have to be forced with.
Yes. And it's in our
BioTouch
face.
is so cool.
Yeah, it's in our face right
Yeah,
now. So
yeah.
in these difficult times, these times of conflict, let's remember BioTouch. You know, this is the kind of stuff, if you want to start posting things, if you want to bring healing to humanity, if you want to bring relationship to humanity, take these posts and post them and share it. Take the email that you get from watching this and send it off to somebody. You know, imagine if we posted this the way we post all of our opinions and our theories and our judgments and our jokes.
Angers and
and on and on and on. What happens if we started posting love?
What a great question, because why is it so hard to do that and so easy? Because it's a path of least resistance, and this is why we're going through this. We have to go back to where, what do we say? Love is our nature. This is why BioTouch is so important. It's here to remind us through putting love into action with each other, that we are love.
Yes. And that's all we are. The
Yep.
rest of it is just a show. It's
Yep.
like I always say, we're just bozos on the boat, you know, just bumping into each other.
And you're the captain of that boat, is that what you're saying?
Don't forget that.
Yeah, don't forget. Yes,
And
sir.
even bozos can do BioTouch. So.
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, you know, please join us. We have numerous ways you can learn this technique. One of them is download the free manual, part of that manual that gives you the greeting. If you're more interested, we have training coming up. Our next one is a virtual online training live
This Saturday?
this Saturday.
Woo.
You know, we have
Yay.
half a dozen people already signed up for it. It's a fun class, and we have people from all over the country, sometimes all over the world,
Yeah,
who join us together.
Absolutely.
And then after that, the following week on that Thursday, we have Karen Austin, who's going to talk about menopause with cortisol levels.
Oh,
and
man,
she
that's
did
awesome.
a great job with
Boy.
it. And get your name on the email list, because we can also, she has a really good PowerPoint slides that
Slideshow.
we'll be sharing
Yep.
with you too. So
Definitely.
those are the numerous ways. Otherwise, just send us an email and ask us how we can help you in your personal issues.
Please.
Yeah, if we can't answer it in an email, we'll call you on the phone, we'll do a Zoom with you, whatever it takes to get you interested and practicing.
Yeah.
You know, let's not let this be just one of those techniques we say, oh yeah, sounds nice, and then click on the next slide or do the next post. Let's put it into action.
Put it into action, because we know that BioTouch can change the quality of your life.
Yes.
When you practice BioTouch.
We
Yeah.
have that in data. We have that
Testimonials.
in testimonials for years. Go to our website. There's a whole section on testimonials.
Yeah.
So we just take a little time here every Monday to remind ourselves, practice BioTouch for the love of humanity and nature itself, as Gary says.
Yes.
So until next Monday, hey, have a great week, everybody.
Bye.
Days in and days out, space and time is all about feeling pressure with the pain, in sunshine or in the rain. Living is a place in mind, giving is being kind. When the pain is too much, what we need is BioTouch. When I'm touching you, you are touching me. It's a simple thing to do and a natural way to be. I know this to be true. It happens to me and you. In the middle of the day, energy just fades away. Down the line we realize we can re-energize, feeling better in the end with attention from a friend. When I'm touching you, you are touching me. It's a simple thing to do and a natural way to be.